Hello, welcome to Quail's Knitting Nest. My name is Joy.
And I'm Janet. Happy New Year. I haven't been here since last year.
That's right. Mm-hmm. You weren't here in January. It's a beautiful sunny day, February. We're almost to Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. So as of today, we have 107 subscribers. Yay! We broke our 100 mark that we were shooting for. So now we can have our giveaway. If you wait until the end of the podcast, we will tell you how you can enter and what it is you will win if you are the winner. It's so exciting.
Yes, it is. Now 200.
Okay, on to 200.
We have to get to 1,000.
Well,
spread the word, subscribe.
Yeah, click the subscribe button. Comment below if there's anything you have questions about as we talk about the things that we're making. Please put your questions in the comment box. And also if you have like any comments too.
Yeah, we haven't had too many comments.
No, not lately. Too many. Yeah.
We like reading them. We like seeing.
We
will respond if you have any questions.
Yep. We'd like to hear what you're interested in and what you're doing. And just to give you a heads up, I had foot surgery and I've been confined to the house for like 3 weeks, so I have done a lot of knitting. So buckle up.
And I have a lot to show because I wasn't here for 2 months.
Right.
I've been doing a lot of knitting too. I didn't go out too much in January.
Yeah, so. It's quiet, because Omicron is still out there and people have been staying kind of close to home.
Yeah, and it seemed like everybody we talked to was affected by it.
Yeah.
Especially
we
after
know a lot
Christmas.
of people. Yeah.
Now it seems like it's abating, I think.
Yeah. Let's hope.
Let's try. We're all boosted and everything, so.
Yeah. Double shot boost.
Oh my goodness.
So tell us about this. It's gorgeous.
Oh, this is my Sunset Highway by Caitlin Hunter. I made this probably, oh my goodness, I bet it's about 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Because I wore it to Rhinebeck one year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about 5 years ago. So this is one of my favorite sweaters. It's one of my best fitting sweaters. I just love it. I should show my sleeves. The bottom is just plain. But this speckle yarn is Heritage Superwash sock yarn.
Cascade.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, they did speckles?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I knew that.
Not for long. When I worked at the yarn shop, we had it. So that's quite a while ago. I don't think they do it anymore. Speckles aren't as big.
Well, yeah.
But I like speckles.
Speaking of that, on the latest Knit Ink,
yes,
they were mentioning that
about
speckles are kind of not as...
Yeah, and I like speckles. I still have more, so I'll be making them. And the pink is also the same yarn. The navy that has some... The navy is stash. It's something I had left over from another sweater. And I have a little sparkle, which you probably can't even see. Another leftover piece of yarn from my stash. But I love this. This is one of my favorites.
It's really pretty.
And
the pink and the blues go really well. Yes. Today I am wearing my finished Phrancko sweater that I made for my husband. It's a little bit long for me, obviously, and the sleeves are really long because they're for him. I'll put a picture up here to show you what he looks like when he's wearing it. Mm-hmm. But so the sweater is a Phrancko pattern. The designer is Frank Jernigan, and he has a website where you input all of your information, your neck size, your chest size, all your measurements you put in, and then you also put in your gauge, and you can include your yarn and its yardage too. And then he spits out a pattern for you. It's custom fit, and he tells you how much of your yarn you're going to need approximately, so you have a ballpark figure to work with. And then that pattern is there forever. So like I could remake this sweater as many times as I wanted to, or you can also download it. So he keeps it on his website, and you can also download it and save it to your own personal library. Last time I mentioned that it took me 3 tries to get through the shoulders. They were a little challenging because I had never done this construction before and it was confusing me.
It lays nice though.
But
very nice.
Once I got past the shoulders, the rest of the knitting flew by. It was really easy. Of course, I just did a plain stockinette pattern, which I wanted to do because this yarn has a flex in it, and I just love the yarn itself, so I wanted it to shine. This was yarn that you had given me a couple of years ago, a while back, and I think I even had a couple skeins left over. Yeah,
make him make him a hat or something.
yeah. So it's done, and I'm really happy with it.
Looks nice.
And it
looks really nice.
I find it to be pretty soft. I haven't not worn it against my skin. I have a turtleneck underneath. But he was wearing it with a t-shirt, and he said it was itching his arms.
Oh, was it? What is this? This is like linen or something.
It's wool, alpaca, and soy silk.
Soy silk. I knew there was, something different. That was from Rhinebeck.
Oh, was it? Okay.
One of the barns I remember. Was that Fibre Co? No.
Yes, Fibre Company. And the interesting thing was I weighed all of the skeins, and they were all like wildly different. Most of them were around 50 grams, but it was like 48, 55. You know, it was very inconsistent. And there was one skein that was 100 grams.
Wow.
It was weird.
I don't know.
But I really like it.
I just knew I couldn't wear the alpaca, and I thought,
yeah.
I know Joy will enjoy it. And she always finds something nice to make with whatever.
With beautiful yarn, it's always easy to find something to make. All right, so we have a bunch of FOs here. Lots of finished objects. You have one more than I do, so how about you go first?
Start? Okay.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorites. Again, I'm saying favorite a lot today, but it is. I ordered this kit. I had first seen this at New Jersey Sheep and Fiber in September. It was Chelsea Luxe Yarns, and this is the Christina Hat. Get up close so you can probably see the halo and the pearls. And this was a collaboration with another designer, I Rock Knits Design, the Christina Hat. Show you that. Okay. So you could either make it cuffed up or just as a beanie. Yeah, that's what I call it. Folded brim and beanie style. So I wanted the folded brim. So I had to start out with the pearls on the wrong side, attaching the pearls on the wrong side, so that when you fold it up, you could see the pearls on both sides. And this yarn, it's just beautiful. The color, first of all, is Robin's Egg. I don't know if it's coming out, but it's a gorgeous, gorgeous pale aqua. This is Luxe DK 100% superwash merino. Chelsea Luxe. Just love her yarns and her colors. Mixed with, so I held 2 strands together, her Luxe Mohair, which is 72 kid mohair and 28% silk. And they're both Robin's Egg. So, that's my hat.
It is really soft.
Feels luxurious.
Ooh, it has big, it's like slouchy.
It does, yeah. Well, you could put it
pull
up
the
more.
brim-
Yeah, you didn't
brim
have it up.
over
Yeah.
higher.
Yeah, because you have to go up to the point where the pearls start. There we go.
Oh, okay.
There.
There, you got it straight.
Yeah. See, now it doesn't do that on me as much.
Oh.
It doesn't slouch as much on me. I have a bigger head and more hair.
Yes. Yeah, you definitely have more hair. It's very soft. Now, the pearls, you put them on as you went?
With a crochet hook, yes.
Okay. So
Take
did you
the stitch off and, yes, go ahead.
Just one of the threads?
I
one
did.
Of the yarns?
I did. Exactly. I only put it through the mohair because I couldn't get the DK weight yarn through the little hole in the pearl.
Gotcha.
So I figured that's the only way you could possibly do it. Mm-hmm. Now I did buy another hank of this Robin's Egg color in fingering weight. So I planned to make a nice little neck scarf, something for the neck to go with this.
So did the pattern not tell you about how to put the beads on?
They just told you the procedure with the crochet hook.
Oh.
But it didn't say anything about using a single strand. Yeah, they did have a video, actually, how to put the pearls on, but...
That's pretty cool. I never had seen... Is this like a fad now? A trend?
Yes.
To have...
In fact, I just saw, I don't know, something on TV. Somebody was wearing... Oh, I think it was one of the news reporters.
Yeah?
Philadelphia was wearing a hat with pearls on it.
Oh. Hmm.
I've seen them in the
That's
stores, too. Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the things that I was cranking through while I was stuck on the couch for 3 weeks is a pair of socks. I decided to make these for my sister. This is yarn that I got, I think it was a year ago, from the Allentown Fiber Festival. It was virtual last year.
Oh, yes.
And I bought this from Fiber Nymph Dye Works. The base is called Heavenly. And I think this was the colorway for the festival last year, because the colorway is called Driving Pennsylvania East West.
Oh.
Because she's from Pittsburgh and she was coming
Right.
east. Well, Allentown is in the east. She didn't actually
Mhm.
physically come.
Mhm.
But so this is these are the socks that I did. I used my own custom fit sock pattern. However, I substituted a short row heel instead of my normal gusset heel. And I use, for short rows, I use Arne's, from Arne Carlos. I use his short row method, which I really like.
Now, what do you think about the fit compared to your heel and gusset? Because you made one for yourself. with
Yes,
that, right?
yes. So
See how it's
interesting.
sticking here?
Well, I
Yeah.
did a couple of extra, like normally you do your heel over half stitches. I did a
Right.
couple extra because I wanted it to be a little bit longer to make this stretch across
Okay.
the arch of the foot
Okay.
or the whatever, the instep.
Mm-hmm.
I have another pair of socks which I actually wore yesterday, which I had forgotten I had used the same heel on those socks, and those socks fit fine.
Oh, good.
However, these are a little bit tight on me. I made them kind of to fit me. My sister has smaller feet than I do. So I don't know if it's just because they're a smidge small anyway, but they are a little bit tight both here, and they're also a little bit short for me, which I had done the shorter part intentionally for her smaller feet.
Mm-hmm. That's top down, right?
Yes, I
if
did
I
these
missed
top
it.
down, and the pinkish color, would you call that pink?
Yeah.
At the cuff, the heel, and the toe was a separate mini skein that came along with the main yarn, the self-striping. And that's why I inserted the short row heel so that I wouldn't break up the stripes along the top.
Mm-hmm.
So those are them. They were fun and fast.
They're pretty. She should like them. I'm sure.
Oh,
she
and by the way, here's the
leftover.
I have like 40
you have a
grams,
lot left over.
40 grams left over, and this is her tag, Fiber Nymph Dye Works.
I have two pairs of socks. This one I think Joy had inserted a picture in the last podcast. And these are my Regia blue self-striping, self-patterning socks. And just the basic vanilla 2x2 rib on the top, stockinette, the rest of the foot, and the basic heel. I can't get away from my heel and gusset. I just love this. It just fits the best.
Yeah, I agree.
And
That's the best.
I don't have to look at a pattern anymore. I could just sit and knit socks. So
And
I
really,
like that.
I really like this pattern.
I do too.
It's so nice.
This is the tab. This was a recent gift, so I know hasn't been in my stash very long. I just got it in October.
Oh wow!
So that didn't last long. And the other pair of socks I just finished is Lorna's Laces hand dyed yarns, and this is something different. It's called Soulmate. I don't know if they still make this. This was in my stash for probably a few years. It's 55 superwash merino, 15 nylon, and 30 Outlast viscose. And it's supposed to be better wearing for socks. I don't know. We'll see. I thought it was pretty. It feels great. They're so soft.
That has a nice pattern in it too.
I really like these. I started these as a gift, but I don't know. I made the cuff. I don't know why I made the cuff extra long this time.
Oh. Maybe because you were just enjoying the yarn so much.
I just kept knitting,
like,
and then I had to match the second one.
Yeah.
So these may be for me, because I don't think the person I wanted to give to my aunt, I don't think she would like them this long.
Darn, you have to keep
I know,
them.
they're really nice. Now I can see how they wear. Really, look at how neat the cuff, the heel.
It
Look at how
worked
the
out.
heel
Yeah, it's
striped.
interesting.
It's just, it was very pleasant to work with. Let me say that. I enjoyed it, and that's why I think I did them within a week.
Quick, zip, zip.
Yep. Okay, what else do you have?
So I have this month's Knitter's Day Out blanket square. However, I'm going to let Janet show hers first because I did not like the square that they gave this month, so I made up a square of my own. So Janet will show you the official square.
And I really like this. You haven't
It's so
seen
funny
it. Isn't that
because she
pretty?
really likes it.
Here's
But
the look at this. This is the right side,
yeah.
and this is the wrong side, and I think both sides are beautiful.
So that's
So
the
this
wrong.
is the wrong side, and this is the right side. I just loved knitting this, and I think it's such a pretty stitch. Such a pretty reversible stitch.
So are you starting a new strip now?
Yes.
So your
So I'm
first strip
starting.
is done.
I have my I'll have to bring my diagram next time. I made a diagram of what colors I'm putting where. I've decided.
Oh, okay.
Since I'm connecting, I have to decide
Yeah.
now how it's going to work. But this is almost 60 inches long.
Oh, wow.
It's not blocked yet. So
this is your first strip.
Oh, and that's right, I didn't show this square. Let me show this. This is going to a new great nephew who was born in January.
Oh.
So I put this square, this was the last square.
You put
Joy
in the-
didn't put the year in.
Right.
I don't know if you could see, 2022. Here's 2022. That was they had an option last month. So I did 2022 because I knew I was giving it to him. And I thought it'd be nice to have the year in it.
Yeah, that's.
I wasn't going to do the
That's a
year, and I
good
thought,
idea.
no, I'm going to do it because that would be
Yeah.
nice to give it to him the year he was born.
And the reason I didn't do the year was because I didn't necessarily want to
Yeah.
date it.
So-
But that's a good reason to date it because
Yeah.
that's the year he was born.
Yeah, so, and these are good colors. I thought these would be good colors.
Sure they are.
Because they're in Florida now. So I thought, oh, these are, nice bright colors for Florida, but now they're moving to North Carolina. So that's fine. It doesn't
Oh
matter.
yeah,
It's still,
fine.
yeah. But
So you got
this would be more
four
appropriate.
blocks per strip,
yes,
and then it'll be
3 across. 3
by
strips
4.
across.
Okay. Yeah.
So I thought if it does look too long, if the length is much longer than the width, I could always add another strip.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could figure that out. I'm going to see
Or maybe
after
put a
the
border.
second strip. I could do the border. I'm going to see what it looks like after the second strip, and I have to decide because what I'm going to do is just buy more ivory. And
They didn't say anything about a border, did they?
No. They haven't said anything.
I wonder if they're.
They don't say much at
Yeah.
all in those emails.
Yeah, so I don't know
what's
if they're
going to
do a
happen.
border. So wasn't crazy about that one. So I made up my own, and this is what I did. This is called the Van Dyke check pattern, and I got it from this book, A Treasury of Knitting Patterns, which I have on my shelf by Barbara Walker. I just flipped through and found one that I liked. So here it is. And I did that one for my square. So that's that. And then this is the same yarn I used for the last one, which was a very heavy yarn. So I did fewer stitches to make it fit the 12-inch thing.
Is this the same color for all of them?
Well,
Was your other one ivory?
They're all naturals.
Oh, okay.
But
So
they're
it's all
all
shades.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some of them are whiter. This is
Okay.
probably the darkest one.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's also why I'm waiting to put them together.
Right.
Because I want to arrange them so that they look sort of
Right.
cohesive,
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard when you're using starch. I know that's what happened to me. I had to go and buy a couple balls just to go with my stash, but that's okay. We're using it.
All right, you have another
What
FO?
else do we have? Oh, yes. So this is my last one. Now, Joy did post a picture of this in the last podcast,
I
but
said
she asked
you
me to
have
bring
to
it.
show it in person. Because...
So this was my
long
my minis from my Advent
minis.
that Joy gave me. And this is the long skinny by, I'm trying to see her name. I can't remember her name. Jennifer Peck. The long skinny, it's called. So you start from one tip and move along to the other. And I put black yarn in between to emphasize the colors and separate the colors.
So that's a brown in there.
Yeah,
you
that's
can
a dark
see
brown. You can't, And
this one's like a teal, a dark teal.
look how this softened up after I,
Yeah.
can you see the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was kind of a rustic yarn, which I'm not used to, but when I washed it and blocked it, it really came out nice. It's really soft. The only thing I didn't do, and I don't think it's a problem, the pattern called for I-cord all around the scarf, but I ran out of my black.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have enough to do it. And I could have pulled out a different black yarn, and I thought, I don't think I need it, because I think the edges
Yeah, they
great.
look fine. Yeah.
That doesn't need it. And then that'll
No,
just
it
make it
doesn't need it.
heavier, I think.
It's very drapey.
I like the way
and
it,
it's...
yeah.
I love this.
I like the way it came
Oh,
out.
wow.
Oh, look how nice it looks right there with your brown.
With the brown, yeah.
Yeah, so this is,
Now, how would you wear this?
I don't know. I haven't worn it yet.
It's pretty long.
I'm going to try
It's
to
a
figure
long
out.
skinny.
I'm not going to figure out now, but I'm going to try. I always wanted to get a shawl cuff, and I found it, and we'll tell you later where we found all this. But I did get a shawl cuff, and I thought that would kind of work to keep these points together. So I'll have to figure it out.
Now, did you...
It's definitely a double wrap.
How many of the minis did you end up using? Did you have some left over?
Yes, I think I used 18.
Okay.
18 or 19 maybe. Yeah.
That's a decent...
Yeah, it was getting too long. I had to stop because
yeah.
it was just...
Well, that's like the one
too
I
long.
made, the zigzag.
Right.
It was just too long. I couldn't
Right.
put all of those in
And some
there.
of them were... there were a couple of double repeats.
Oh, were
colors,
there?
And a couple of them were a little bit heavier. So I picked those out first.
Yeah.
And decided. So that's that.
That's beautiful. I really like that.
Okay.
And our friend Donna made another one, right? The
Yes.
same thing, but her
Yes.
yarn was...
She faded it.
Oh, so it
She
wasn't
faded it.
striped.
Goodness, it is striped, but she faded the colors.
Oh.
It really came out nice.
So it'd be interesting to
nice.
see the difference between, because using the same pattern and how the different yarns make it look different.
Look at I have a picture.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to put it on
Yes,
for you
yes.
to see that. That's right. You did a double strand.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so I have
Okay,
one more
what else?
finished object to show. And this is
Oh, wow.
a pillow.
You did that so quickly. Oh, my gosh. When you're not working, you really...
When you have a lot of
produce
time on
twice
your
as
hands.
fast.
Yeah. So I am an off and on again watcher of Suzanne Bryan. She has a YouTube channel, and every once in a while she does something that really piques my interest. So, for example, last year she did the I-tag set-in sleeve cardigan, which I was super interested in, and I watched all of the episodes, and I was almost ready to join in on the knit along, but I just didn't because I had other things I wanted to do instead. And previous to that, she also did a I-tag yoke sweater, which I watched almost all of those episodes, and she's the one I learned how to do all the measurements from, and the worksheet that we did as a tutorial last year. That's from Suzanne Bryan. She's awesome. She's a Knitting Guild master knitter, and she teaches a lot. So this spring, or January, this winter, we're going to do this 7 pillows knit along. And at the beginning, I looked through the 7 pillows and I was like, I can pass that. But in the meantime, my niece got engaged, and I was thinking about things I might want to make her for her wedding or her bridal shower. And then the pillow that they chose to do for the first one, I thought that might be fun. It would be fun to do, and then I could give it to my niece for her wedding. So this is it. It's called the Kolam pillow, Kolam, Kolam pillow. The original pattern was made in fingering, but she rewrote the pattern to use worsted weight yarn. So I have, the green is Ella Ray Classic wool. The orange is Galway, Plymouth Galway. And the back, this is actually where I got my Van Dyke check pattern, because I had made this first.
I was just looking at that.
Before-
I thought it was the same thing.
Before I did the KDO blanket square, I had made this. And when the blanket square came up and I thought, oh, I don't really like that, I thought, well, I'll just do another one. And I'm like, oh, well, I just did this one and I know how to do it. So I did this. So it has these cables I don't know if you can see, but the cables don't start at the bottom. They start midway through the fabric. So part of what she does is every knit along that she does and every pattern that she publishes is a teaching pattern. So this one teaches you how to make these cables midstream, and then also adding your intarsia cables with the second color. And the interesting thing that was a pleasant surprise to me was I was just assuming, you'd have a strand that goes this way and a strand that goes this way. Right, so you have two strands coming up of the orange color. But the way she did it was you measure out twice as long of a strand that you need, and then you start in the middle. You fold it in half and you start in the middle right here, so that the two ends come up this way, and then there's no ends dangling to weave in at the bottom where you start. And I thought that was a very clever way of doing it.
That's different. I took a class I was just thinking about this, a class with Melissa Leitman once. And it was with the cables that start, not from the bottom. I don't remember doing it that way, though. I don't remember how we did it, but I don't remember that, so that must be a different technique.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And then, interestingly, Janet had mentioned to me a podcast with La Bien-Aimée with Stephen West and Nancy Marchant. And Nancy, in that recent podcast, she has this awesome poncho that she was wearing that was all multicolored cables coming up the front.
It's in the new, isn't that the new worsted?
Yeah,
book?
It's in the worsted book that, Amy put
from
out.
La Bien-Aimée. Just put out, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I just think it's gorgeous. It's stunning. I'm sure it's a ton of work.
I'm sure it is.
But it's very tempting because it's so pretty. And then my pillow ended up, it was supposed to be 14 by 14, but mine ended up too wide. It's 14 by 16. So I had to hunt down a pillow form that would fit it. And let me tell you, it's not easy to find a 14 by 16 pillow. But I did. I succeeded. And here it is. I'm really happy with how it turned out.
Very
It's
nice.
joined with
Pattern
an
is beautiful.
I-cord join on all around the edges.
This almost looks red.
Yeah. It's like a red orange.
Pretty. Heather.
Janet and I took a field trip this week. I got out of the house, I think it was maybe the first time out since my foot surgery. And Janet had gotten a gift certificate from one of her friends to a yarn shop that's not too far away from us.
No. It's in Newtown Square. It's called The Loop. It took us about 45 minutes, I think, to get there. The Loop has two stores. They have one in Philadelphia and one in Newtown Square. We went to the one in Newtown Square. It's a very small shop.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the video you're going to have
Yes, I'll show
the footage from. We did. Joy took some pictures, some video. It's a very nice little shop, and they have a nice selection of yarn. We were able to find. They were of course they were having a sale. That's all you have to do is say sale.
a really good sale, too.
Yes, exactly.
We're talking 40%.
40% off. I mean, they had Emma's yarns. I was so tempted to buy the mohair silk Emma's yarn. Oh, I've been thinking about it. 40% off. But we did well anyway.
Yes, we
Joy
did.
happened to find this, of course, and showed me two of my favorite colors. So then, of course, that was it. I was stopped. And we were both deciding, what colors are we buying?
Yeah.
So this is the Fibre Company Cumbria. This is a beautiful yarn.
Now, we didn't ask why they had this on sale, but it looked like this was the end.
Yeah.
Like maybe they weren't going to stock it anymore.
Or it looked like it's what they had left over, because the items that were on sale, they didn't have a depth of color or any of that. It was just a few, like there were only about a dozen of these on the
But
shelf.
I didn't see any other Cumbria anywhere else in the store.
Right. So I don't know if they're not going to carry it at that particular loop, because they carry different,
Yeah.
an assortment in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And they have an online shop too. But anyway, so it's the Fibre Company Cumbria, and it's the Masham wool, merino, and mohair combo. It's DK weight, and of course these are my colors. You can see.
It's like dark
This one has
teal
to
and
go
light
close.
teal.
I don't know. Yeah. If you see it in person,
almost
it does
black.
have some light
Yeah, it's almost
colors. in
It reminds me a little bit of the nightshades because it's so dark, but yet it has that tealiness to it.
So I got 3, and as soon as I saw this, I thought of a Lisa Hans, I think Hannes shawl that I had seen with mosaic knitting. I just thought the mosaic would show up so well in this. So Joy did have this one in her hand.
I know, I almost bought that one myself.
And then I spied these two.
But
and
it
then
pairs
I thought,
so well with those.
So I said,
Yeah.
just let me know, Joy, what colors you're buying. So I ended up with this one because Joy went with a different range.
Yeah. I have the same yarn, but actually which ones, I think I got these two.
Yeah, you did. Mm-hmm.
Maybe these two.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I'm checking out, Janet gifted me these two to go with it. So I have dark gray, light gray, and then this kind of brownish orange.
Pretty.
Yeah, mustard color.
Well, it was her birthday. So I
Yeah.
knew we were going to the shop, and I thought, this is ideal. I don't have to decide. I don't have to decide what to get. She could pick her own out, and she couldn't decide with all these colors.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe, I don't know what you can make with 4, but I'm sure you'll figure something nice out.
Maybe a mosaic shawl too. Who knows?
There you go. Mm-hmm.
But this is, I've always liked the Fibre Company yarn, and when you gifted this to me, I just knew I had to make something out of it. And there's, what's the other one? Aaron Moore.
I have some of that at my
Janet had
stash.
gotten some of that on sale that was gorgeous. Purple color, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I was sorely tempted. I almost got that myself. And since it was 40% off, it was just totally irresistible.
We couldn't walk away.
Yeah, we couldn't walk away.
So that was all the yarn. You bought more there.
I
That's right.
I bought more yarn, which is a segue into my
That's right.
works in progress because I already cast on. Okay, so while we were at the yarn shop, I was specifically looking for yarn because I have another baby coming. A lady in our congregation is having her first grandchild, which is due in March or April, maybe April. Anyway, so I had been wanting to make a sweater for this baby coming up, and I was looking for yarn, and there at the shop they have this ultra wool Barocco, which is a superwash, and it says it's worsted, but it's actually knitting up for me closer to a DK.
Mm-hmm. It feels it.
It's pretty light, but it is 219 yards for 100 grams, so it's kind of like, it's very close to Cascade, I suppose. I got 2 colors, blue and yellow. And I forgot that a baby cardigan really requires 2 balls. Like I was thinking blue with yellow highlights,
Trim.
but 1 blue ball would not be enough for the whole sweater. And I forgot that. And when I got home and I started looking at patterns, I'm like, ugh.
What's the yardage?
It's 219.
219, yeah.
I'd need at least whatever. And since the baby's coming in April, I decided to make a 9-month size. I did once. I made a 6-month cardigan with 1 ball of yarn. And it was cropped. Very short in the body. So then I just started looking for patterns that would use more fully both balls. And I ended up deciding on something striped. And I saw a couple patterns where the stripes intermingle with each other. So like the blue goes into the yellow before you get to the stripe. And I dithered and whatever. And I remembered, actually, Jim was wearing the other day one of the very first sweaters I ever made for him. And the way the stripes are done on that sweater is you do it in reverse stockinette so that the stripes overlay like this. And he loves that sweater. In fact, I had originally was going to make his sweater the normal way with the stripes on the stockinette side. But when he saw me knitting it, he's like, oh, but that looks so much better. I'm like, you're crazy, dude, but whatever. But he likes that. That's his. And I thought, well, maybe that's kind of a man thing. And this is going to be a boy's sweater. So that's what I decided to do. And as I was thinking about what pattern to use, I was thinking, oh, I'll just make it up myself because it's just basic baby sweater and I'll just stripe it. But I was watching Knit Inc. And Petra was talking about this pattern that she had tried called, what's it called?
Yeah, that's right.
The Good Old Raglan.
Oh, yeah, I wrote that down. I took, yes. I liked it.
I got it. It's available on the website. Her name is Twisted Knitwear. It's designed by Twisted Knitwear. I forget what her name is, but that's the brand that she goes by, and I think she is Danish. Because everything is, you can get the pattern in either Danish or English, and it's a free pattern. You can download it off her website, and just let me tell you, this is one of the best free patterns I've ever seen. It is in it has 4 infant sizes, I think, 3, 6, 9, 12 months. And then it also has children's sizes, I think up to 14. So it has a whole size range. And it's like a bought pattern. It's so well put together. So I highly recommend this pattern if you're interested. She also does short row shaping at the neck, which I left out because I thought for a baby, who cares? So I'm just getting started on this using my yarn that I got from Loop.
Very nice. This is a pullover,
Yes.
obviously.
Top down
Anything
raglan
different?
pullover.
No. Anything different? Are you going to do navy cuffs and
Yes.
ribbing
Yeah.
on the bottom and
So
all that?
the top ribbing I did in navy, and I'm going to do the cuffs in the bottom in that. And I did do an invisible cast on the neck because it's a baby sweater, right? So it needs to fit over the head. And in the pattern, she says for the smaller sizes, like you usually use a smaller needle on your ribbing. And she said for the smaller sizes, don't do that. And I was thinking about that because part of
this
the
looks
reason,
really small.
Part of the reason I usually make a cardigan is so you don't have that issue
Right.
about is it going to fit over the baby's head.
And then sometimes they
However-
put the buttons on the side, but of course you can't because it's a raglan.
So I think between the larger needle and the invisible cast on,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
stretchy.
it's very stretchy, and I think it should fit.
Yeah.
What do you have going on?
Well, here's an update on my Perseids sweater.
I'm excited to
Made
see
with
it.
nightshades.
You
Well, let
keep
me show the
talking
picture.
about it, but
Just show this picture, I guess. That's a pretty good picture of it compared to the front page. Okay. And this is the Nightshades yarn, Harrisville yarn. It's black with red flecks. You probably can't really tell what it is, but it's all eyelets. If I hold it up like this, I guess you can see the holes.
Yeah.
And it was a nice construction. You started with the shoulders, across the shoulders, and picked up stitches, and then went down the back and then down the 2 fronts. And the band is already here. There's no buttons, so the front band is already here.
Okay. So you don't have
It
to go
needs to
back
be-
and add it later.
No, it needs to be blocked, that's for sure. But, so all I have left are the 2 sleeves.
Nice.
That's that.
Well, my other work in progress is also the nightshades. I'm also doing a cardigan. This has a little detail. I don't know how well it will pick up, but it has panels of the texture and then panels of plain stockinette. So this texture is under the armpit, and then there's plain stockinette, and then there's another panel of it in the back, and then plain, and then under the arm, and then like yours, the band is knit while you
It's pretty.
make it.
What size needle are you
I'm
using?
going to insert a photo here so that you can see what the pattern actually looks like.
That's pretty.
So it has the band comes up around the neck, like kind of like a turtleneck-ish, and then it comes down the fronts. And this is nightshades. This is colors called Talk Radio.
It has purple in it.
I hate the colors because they absolutely give you the color names because they don't. You have no clue what color it is that you're doing.
It's true.
Anyway, so Talk Radio is purple. I don't know if the purple will pick up on camera or not.
The name of the sweater is the Renley Cardigan, right? You didn't say the name.
Sorry. Yes, it's
Renley Cardigan.
Renley, Renley cardigan, and it's by Valerie Hobbs, and she's what I would call like a couture knitter. All of her designs are very sleek and have little details in them that make them like extra nice.
Yeah, I'm looking at the shoulders too. That has a nice detail. And then down the sleeve, there's also that.
Yes, this
design
pattern
too.
also
pretty.
comes down the.
What size
It's
needles
not
are
a
you using?
saddle, but it comes down the side.
It's just
This is I'm doing this on a 3, so my gauge is
wow.
around. I forget. I think it's around 6 stitches to the inch,
Oh my goodness.
something like that. What are you doing yours on?
You know what? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm on a size 3 needle, and it's 5.5 stitches to the inch, which the nightshades is DK, so that's right on. And mine's done bottom up, whereas yours is top down.
Top down, right from the neck. Oh, I'm using a 5. Okay. A 5 and a 6.
So your gauge is much bigger.
Yeah.
I can tell just by looking at
Yeah.
it. And
I
it's
know.
also,
As soon as I saw yours, that's why I was
Yeah.
wondering what you were. Yeah. I used the recommended, and I got the gauge.
and I did too.
And
I'm
this,
just smaller.
and this Perseids uses the nightshades. That's one reason
specifically
I did that.
Yeah.
In fact, did you see Loop had an email the other day?
No.
The Loop Yarn Shop,
Mm-mm.
and they're now carrying nightshades
Oh.
and daylights, but I think it said only the Philadelphia store. But they showed pattern pictures for the what to use the nightshades for,
Okay.
and they showed the Perseids with
Okay. There you go.
I think that's probably the first time I ever used the recommended yarn for a pattern.
Well, with the nightshades, it's kind of like, because of the color, and also it's worsted, or it's woolen spun, I think, instead of worsted spun, which we're not used to using. So it's nice to have something that's made specifically for the yarn that you're using, so you don't have to kind of guess at it.
I can't believe you got all that done.
Well,
Oh
like
my
I said,
gosh.
I've been sitting around.
Oh my gosh.
And you have
Oh,
something
sweetie.
else, right?
I have one more. At the New Jersey Sheep and Fiber Festival in September, I bought this beautiful color. I was looking for this periwinkle because this is the color of the year, and I always loved periwinkle.
Oh.
This look at the shading in this. It's just, I think it's just beautiful. So this was, I never heard of the company, Seven Sisters Arts. Artisan dyed inspired by nature. And this is called Astrid, their fingering yarn. It's 70 merino and 30% silk. That's a fingering weight. I don't have much started on this. So I just started this, but it is wonderful to knit with. I love the shading.
Oh, yeah.
It just feels so good. And I'm making Helen Stewart's Red Robin Shawl. I just wanted a nice lightweight shawl around my neck. The silky, it's not itchy. So it's a nice easy knit. It's stockinette stitch mixed with a textured section.
Regarding our giveaway, now that we're over 100 subscribers, in the last episode, I pointed out some of the things that we're going to give away, and it's all in this Hello Hope bag. But there are some additions, so that I'm going to show you. Besides what I already showed you last time, we have added a few things here. We have some stitch markers, Ladybug Creations, and unnamed. It's kind of hard to see. Oh, you made these? Mm-hmm. Handmade by Janet. That's awesome. They're hard. They're kind of hard to see in the. Can I take them out?
Sure.
Oh, well, it's gonna rip.
Yeah.
But they're like polka dot. I don't know if you can see
beads. Yeah.
Polka dot beads. They're really cool.
And they're a bigger ring to go with the yarn that I brought for a bigger size needle.
Yes, for a larger needle. So that's awesome.
And these are different size. It's a little bit smaller.
So Ladybug and Janet, one of a kind
That's
originals.
Nice.
And then we're adding this really interesting yarn.
It's a thick and thin.
Oscar from Plymouth Yarn Company.
There's a pattern inside too.
For the cowl. It comes with a pattern on the label if you don't know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm. It has pretty colors in the ivory. It also has teal and some grays and greens and looks like browns mixed in.
It's a wool and acrylic blend. And obviously it's like, bulky weight. Thick and thick. There's some real thin sections, but most of it's pretty thick. Mm-hmm. So that's fun. Oh, wow. And then there's also a couple of bookmarks. This one has needles. Oh, and it has a little saying on the back. Mm-hmm. I have pointy sticks and I'm not afraid to use them. And then this one is a picture of yarn. And this says, when I have a little money, I buy fiber. If any is left, I buy food and clothes. And then here, stacks of mohair. Look at that. And this says, the only place housekeeping comes before knitting is in the dictionary.
I think they're cute.
Yes, they are very cute. And then they have little yarn tufts on the end. So these are additions to our gift bag. Now, if you want to be in the running to win our gift, what you have to do is comment below this video with the answer to this question. What is your favorite thing about our podcast? Let us know down in the comments, and we will randomly pick a winner to get our 100 subscriber giveaway.
Which we'll announce next time.
Yes, next time we will pick that winner and announce it on the next podcast, which will probably be a month. Mm-hmm. Janet's going on a trip. She's going to go have fun. And yeah, we'll see you probably mid-March sometime.
Mid-March or the end of March. Mm-hmm.
So subscribe and comment on our video. Those two things. You have to be a subscriber and you have to comment on the video with the answer to that question. What's your favorite thing about our podcast? And then
we're anxious to hear your answers.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we have for you today. Take care and happy knitting. Bye.
Bye.